So, hey everyone, hope everyone's doing good. So, now I'm in week 6 of our 7 app 7 week challenge, and this week I've taken a very ambitious project where I'm going to be building a system where, let's say, a user comes and enters a prompt like, what is Kubernetes? What I'm going to be doing is generate a bite sized 1 minute video, and more importantly, I am the one that is going to be in the video explaining that particular concept. And so I believe there is not very many tools like this in the market, and so I was very excited in building this because I'm an instructor, and my goal is maybe what I teach throughout the day can be used to use a summarizer tool, and with the summarizer tool make it into 1 minute bite-sized video, and then have me as putting out a 1 minute video at the end of the day for my learners. So this was the aim, and hopefully to help other instructors as well in the teaching community. My ultimate happiness with this particular project is I decided to use Kiro, and I'm mind blown by how awesome it is. So Kiro is an agentic IDE, and what you do is you just write prompts here. For example, I have this project ready. I just write and say what I want change, what exactly exists, and it comes up. It does unit tests automatically. It figures out its own errors and then keeps changing it. And then when I'm not able to run it, for example, in my own environment, it comes up with better solutions. For example, right now I just said, I want something with a male voice. So you can see here that this was my comment. I'm a male, can you create me with a male voice? Because at the end, the video was giving a female voice. And so Keynote does all of that. It writes the entire code, and I'm in the spec mode. If you're interested, spec mode essentially generates three documents, meaning first it designs what is going to be the high level architecture for our application, and then it comes up with the requirements and ultimately with specific tasks. And so here you can see that it came up with eight different tasks. Where I've stopped is the front end. I've not started building. So I want to build a chatbot interface and then ultimately show the video there. For now, today I'm just going to show you a demo where the video is getting generated and it's generating in my local directory. And from there, I'm going to show this to you. Now, I have two different methods to approach this problem. This particular method, what I'm doing is when I say what is Kubernetes, it goes into Claude, and that's a system prompt that comes up with text for about a 1 minute video. And what I'm then doing is I'm using an API from a service called DID. And what it is doing is it is coming up with the video where I upload my own avatar, and from that avatar, it's going to come up with the 1 minute bite-sized video given the text that I have provided from Claude 3.7. And with that, what it's going to generate my way of explaining with lip sync as well. Now, this output you will see is nowhere close to being perfect, but I'm really happy that it took me only a day to achieve where I am at this point. And this is not my ultimate goal as such. My ultimate goal is to be able to train a machine learning model where I am going to be having different facial expressions. Right now, I made so many YouTube videos, so I have more than 20,000, 30,000 frames of my face coming in, and also the content that is coming in. And I'm going to use Claude 3.7 to help me generate the training data. And given the training data, I want to get a model, and that model is now going to do the predictions and generate the videos. And so this is sort of my flow that I am interested in doing throughout this week. And ultimately, I don't want to use any external APIs. I want to be within the AWS ecosystem. So, just to give you an overall view, the way in which right now I have done is I'm using Claude 3.7 with my AWS account. The text comes back, and then that text is going to DID. I have got a pro plan, which the first one starts as $5.90 a month, and the second one starts at $29 a month. So, it was an investment I made. I am not very happy about it, but I just really wanted to test with my own avatar. So it gives a lot of options for custom avatars and things like that. And so I am using that, and my own avatar is coming up with the final video. So it came up with all of this. You can see that there are tons of different code that it has come up with. I have not even inspected most of them, but the whole idea in Kiro is you just write a prompt here. And for example, it was generating my face with a female voice. And what I said is, I am male. Can you create a male voice? And then it did something, it didn't come out correctly, and then I just pasted the error and it went and corrected itself. And it's that's the point of an agentic AI is, it does unit test by itself, it does correction by itself, everything. And so what I've then done is, I'm essentially going to be just running this particular code. It tells me how to run that particular. So node generate with male voice. And so when it just says that, it is fairly straightforward for me. Then all I'm doing is, I am using my own Anaconda environment where I have Node, I have everything installed, Python, everything is installed there. So I just like using it. And there's tons of Python code. For example, I'm on a Windows machine, so unfortunately the Windows machine, I have a Linux environment in there, but the tests are not coming up properly. So every time a test comes up, I tell it like, let me do the test and just do a Python test. And all the node functions are all uh, installed. And I just had to do very simple things like npm install and then npm start and all these things. And ultimately I said I want something to show a demo, and it came up with the demo. Now, from my end, the things that I had to do, you might ask, if Hero can do all of this, why are we even programming? True, it's very close to us not knowing, but there are a few things where you have to do the setup, all right? And so here, for example, I have an S3 bucket where I have to say that I want all my videos in there. And once I say, oh, I want all my videos in there, you have to go in and do some configurations to the permissions. And so you have to make sure that it's not publicly available, and you want to put some bucket policies in there, in with security, so that not everybody can access that bucket. So these are all things that I had to configure. The next thing I had to configure was, because I'm using Claude by myself, I just have to make sure that Claude is accessible. And in my environment variables, there are different settings that I have made, which is, one of them is the AWS keys, and one of them is the DID API key. And then I have to give the bucket name and then the region. So these are all environment variables that I specified for the service to be able to access. So Bedrock, again, I've talked about this in all my videos. I've been using Bedrock. The only thing you want to know is you want to go to model access and make sure you give access here. So I have Claude 3.7. Now, Kiro can operate on this. Claude is not related to my account. This is with Kiro, and Kiro, I think, allows 100 agentic interactions in a day. So it's not infinite, and I bet Kiro is going to come up with uh, pricing models. They already have set the pricing models, which is very comparable to ChatGPT. I think they have a $20 per month model. And so from here, if I choose Sonnet 4.0, it's not very stable. That's why I feel like 3.7 works the way it is. And so ultimately, I just really wanted to say that till now, all my work I've just been doing with ChatGPT. I have not used any advanced agentic AI tools. It's not like a production level software that I've been writing. But with this, the whole game has changed, everyone. And now it is really about communicating and trying to get what you want, and knowing some architecting helps, because in my training there were service quotas. For example, it was using SageMaker Spot instances. It is important to understand what are Spot instances and what are managed services in SageMaker. So when it uses a GPU there, you want to make sure that the service quota is going to be available. That those are all things Kiro cannot do for you. So just know that where we want to focus our attention in this age of AI. Just wanted to give you a heads up on that. So let me show a quick demo. So here I'm having my final output in generate mail voice. And so let me give a question where what I'm going to say is explain AWS ECS in 1 minute. Okay, you don't have to say that, but this is a question I'm giving. And so here I'm going to run this. And so the first thing it's doing is it's going to my cloud 3.7 service. Okay, so it's one API call to my service, so that is going to charge me something. And once it comes back, it's from Bedrock. And then it comes back with the text for a 1 minute video. And then you can see here that creating video, and then that's a job. And so this is a DID service where my initial the avatar is going to be uploaded to this particular place. And once it's done, you can see here that right now it's locally downloaded, and I have the DID URL as well. But ultimately I'm going to copy this and put it in my S3 bucket, okay, so that I have ownership of the video. So that's it, everyone. So let's go and look at the output. So here you can see that let me bring this here. Ever wondered how big companies run thousands of applications smoothly in the cloud? Let's explore AWS ECS, Amazon's Elastic Container Service. ECS is a fully managed container orchestration service that helps you run, stop, and manage Docker containers on a cluster of Amazon EC2 instances or serverless infrastructure. Additionally, think of containers as lightweight packages containing everything your application needs to run. ECS organizes these containers, handles scaling, and ensures high availability without you managing the underlying infrastructure. Additionally, you can choose between Fargate, serverless, paper-task, or EC2 launch types, more control over your infrastructure, making it flexible for different workloads and budgets. With ECS, you can focus on building application. All right, so that was it, everyone. So you can see that this video is not right, and I just have to experiment, get my avatar in a way that it talks very smoothly. So this is a built-in avatar, and you can see here. That responded when you clicked a button. And that's JavaScript in action, the programming language that brings websites to life. JavaScript is like the brain of websites. So hopefully you get the idea, everyone, and I'm really hoping this can help different instructors. And so with that, that's all I have for today, everyone. Again, I didn't really go through the code today because the code base is so huge that this thing has created. But overall, the tasks is something that I went over yesterday, where essentially I'm doing this with the um, DID interface, and ultimately I'm going to do this integration and come up with the output. I also want to have some images where I'm actually teaching, and I think we are at the state of the art these days to achieve that. But today I'm going to start training everyone, and so tomorrow I might have some outputs with better outcomes with my own face and with my own tone and clarity and all of that. But with that, yeah, have a good rest of your day, everyone. Hopefully, you're enjoying this project and all my videos, and keep building. Thank you.